Oh, hey, turn the music down. All right. I just want to read for you a hypothesis I wrote. Turn this off too. For seizures, according to a little bit of research I did with reading the Modern Essential Oils book and a little bit of research on the computer, plus, applying a little bit of understanding of how some things work. And it's just a hypothesis and a possible way to treat or cure seizures without brain surgery. Why is my screen flashing? Stop it. In the name of Jesus, stop flashing. All right. It's still doing it. I guess that's not the right name. Anyway, seizure hypothesis. And I had written about this once before already, but will write again because of its new application concerning something else. Anyway, seizures are caused, I believe they're caused by a misalignment of the synapse, transponders, and receivers. It's been suggested that excessive glutamate is the cause of seizures because glutamate is like the conductor for the signal or electric. This was according to the Modern Essentials. They say that excessive glutamate is found in seizure patients, right? They say that too much glutamate causes too much L to pass from transmitter to receiver. And it may be true that excessive glutamate is found in seizure patients. I believe there is a reason for this. However, consider what would happen if the synapse receivers or transponders and receivers are out of alignment. The glutamate would have to extend itself to reach its target receiver. And in so doing, the overabundance of glutamate causes the signal to tangle or crossfire. Like friendly fire, it's being received by the wrong receptor. So I believe the reason there's extra glutamate is because maybe we're twisted or just out of alignment. So the glutamate is like the conductor. That's like your gas inside of your fluorescent light bulb. It has the particles that cause the electricity to jump across. Or it's like, water can be a conductor. Water with particles, of course. Pure water doesn't conduct electricity. And, our brain is like a sponge. The hydration often cures headaches. Most of the time when we have these problems, it's because we're dehydrated and our brain, I believe, shrivels up like a raisin. We can't fire the signals as well because there's nothing to conduct it. So the glutamate, I believe, is the conductor. So, part of that, I believe, is having the right minerals and good water, which comes from, of course, healthy eating and healthy diet. I don't believe that drinking things like coffee is going to be helpful for seizures because we know that coffee dehydrates and things like alcohol dehydrates. But anyway, not everyone who drinks has a seizure problem. So obviously it's something else. Okay. And I believe, I knew a guy, he was electrocuted. He was a welder and he didn't have his wire grounded and he was electrocuted and then thrown back like 100 feet. And ever since then, he began having seizures. Multiple seizures a day. So something with electricity can throw our synapses out of alignment. And I mean, that makes sense. Either we fry the ends of them, or the high conductivity causes things to jump out of place. So, and then once they're out of place, if you have a bunch of little positive and negatives, I'll draw you something. if this is the way the synapse is, positive, positive, negative. Okay. Once is your transponder and receiver. Now, if this is how it works here, very rough drawing. You have your transponders are positive, and you have your receivers, which are negative. Why did I do one almost like that? All right. And then if it jumps over a step, you still have your positive, positive, negative, 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 positive. But we're out of alignment, and it's still locked in there because of the positive and negatives. Does that make sense? I mean, could it be that we're just twisted out of alignment a little and locked in that position? Let me see. I had some more. I said, consider a fluorescent light bulb. The glutamate is the gas. Yes. Consider the synapse are used. They're like the spark plugs in your car. Not only must they be gapped correctly, but they must be synchronized accordingly, for the pistons that are firing. Older cars use a distributor, and new cars use computer program. A distributor, if you would have two wires switched to the wrong plug, those pistons would not fire correctly, if at all. And your car will be out of alignment and timing, would vibrate and convulse. The computer uses a wiring harness, which is our spinal cord. The harness has many colors of wires. Anyone who has ever played with a wiring harness will tell you how difficult it is to trace wires because there are not enough colors in the rainbow to assign each wire its own. So it's easy to confuse if two wires are the same colors, right? Or connected improperly or mixed up, then some functions of the car won't work. Now apply this to synapses. Yeah. So if we have two wires that appear to be the same colors but they're switched in the wrong, that would also cause problems in our car and cause it to convulse or lights to flash because we're receiving the wrong signal. We're transponding, but we're receiving it in the wrong receiver. They're getting crossed signals. So we're confused, even more confused than the Babel foods we eat, Babylon, GMOs. GMOs could also contribute to these things. Of course, if we're genetically modifying our foods, we're genetically modifying our cells and our cells. So we don't function properly either. So I had a procedure we can practice because it is called practice. That's what health services do. They practice healing. That's why you're patient. Just be patient. That's why they call it a practice. Okay, here was the idea that essential oils, when they're used on the feet, are the most effective. Somehow the oil knows what to do, right? Or does it? Is it the oil, or is it that in our feet is a web of wires to our spinal cord, to our brain? And that it is not the oil, but rather the brain's processor, that most highly intelligent organ, creation of all creations, the brain, give glory to the Most High. Therefore, if our feet communicate with the brain through our nervous system and everything, all the wires go down into our feet. If you look on diagrams of essential oils of the feet, you have all the organs of the body in different places. Everything is down there. That's why, you use acupuncture. And that's why oils are effective when they're on the feet. It enters into the nervous system. So I'm thinking here, if oils are effective on the feet, maybe we could also do brain surgery on the feet. Instead of cutting open our skull, what if we use acupuncture electrodes? We could use microphones first to listen to the different synapses of the nervous system through our feet. What do you call that? Your stethoscope. But we'll use little pins, microphones, and listen to see if we could find the problem. Or we can send through test shocks to see where the problem is. And then possibly we could send through a pulse to the correct area of the brain to cause it to zip back into place. So if we're twisted, zip, we can try to just shock. I mean, if electrocution would cause seizures, can electric shocks also solve seizures? That's what I'm thinking. And I would much prefer that than someone slicing my head open and probing through my brain. So you see, I don't think we even have to do surgery. It's something to try. All right. Thanks for letting me share. I'm Dr. William H. Ryland. Check me out on Facebook sometime. A lot of information buried in there.